back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about all things fall and basically just how I plan my fall decor for the season. I love sharing videos like this. I love watching videos like this because it gets me inspired when other people like share their process and kind of the behind the scenes of how they decorate their home. I find it very interesting and again, just super inspiring. So hopefully this video gives you some inspiration and some ideas on how you can decorate for a cozy kind of vintage cottage inspired fall home. I do like to focus on the main areas in my home, so I like to decorate my living room, my dining room, and my kitchen. And then of course, whenever it gets cooler outside and I have access to pumpkins, I will do some decorating outside as well. But basically, this video is just going to be breaking down each room, what I'm planning to do, what colors I'm inspired by and just super intrigued with, and how I'm hoping to incorporate them into my home. I will be popping up tons of pictures all over, and I'm also going to be sharing some items, just physical items that I have in my home that I'm going to be using for the fall season to give you kind of a better visual. Before I go any farther, I do want to mention, if you are already in the mood for fall, which you probably are if you're clicking on this video, I do have a fall playlist linked down below in my description box, which is fall 2025. I have shared a few other fall videos, like a fall Hobby Lobby. I did some early fall decorating. I did a fall thrift haul. So be sure to check those videos out after you watch this one. So like I had mentioned, the areas of my home that I like to focus on are my living room, my dining room, and my kitchen. And then a little later in the season, I will do some light decorating outside. But I just love making my home feel super cozy and welcoming and inviting. And by doing that, I love using traditional fall colors. I love the yellows and the rust colors and the oranges and the reds. This year, I'm also incorporating brown. I think that's a super popular color this year. And I'm also going to be incorporating some kind of like mauves and also lots of different shades of green. I don't know what it is about the green this year, but I am super intrigued with it and I just love how it looks. So I have been on the hunt for different pieces to add to my decor, and every single year I do like to go through my fall tote. I only have one fall tote and it's just a medium-sized tote because I'm somebody that doesn't like to bring in a ton of actual fall decor. Like I will include some pumpkins, but I'm super minimal on the pumpkins and particular on how they look because I do want them to look as realistic as possible. Sometimes I will also bring in real pumpkins, but again, that would be a little later in the season. But I was able to find some really good faux options this year that look extremely realistic, so I'll share more about those in a little bit. But then other than that, I like to bring in fall foliage, like faux stems. Sometimes I'll use dried stems, but I pretty much like the faux ones the best because I can store those the easiest. Other than that, I'm just bringing in warmer colors and textures, rather that be through vases, through pillow covers, blankets, wicker trays, and just different things like that that I can keep in my home all year long, and they really go with any season. But again, for the fall months, I like to bring in the warmer, kind of darker, richer colors. So that is what you will see lots of throughout my space. I love just the feeling that it brings. Is just so cozy, especially when the weather is cool outside. Right now, it is not cool where I am at. It is in the 90s, but we did have some weather like last week that when we woke up in the morning, it was like in the 60s and it was so nice. It was like such a tease for fall. But anyways, nonetheless, it has me really motivated and excited to keep going with my fall decorating ideas. So whenever I go through my seasonal tote, I like to see what are things that I want to keep, which honestly, most of my stuff I do keep each fall. But then of course, there's some things where it's either I've had for a long time and I just don't love it anymore, or I'm just not into that style anymore. So I will sell those items and replace them with newer pieces. So this year I was on the hunt for a couple of faux pumpkins. I was also hoping to find a few plates because I do have a plate wall in my kitchen that I was wanting to change out plates for the fall season. And then also some stems. I am a big stem person. I love making arrangements. I always keep one on my buffet, my coffee table, my dining room table, a breakfast nook in my kitchen. They're pretty much everywhere, but I'm somebody that doesn't like to use the same foliage in each room. I like to switch it up. I feel like it keeps it realistic. It keeps it very I don't know, just interesting, I guess, and just gives like a different vibe and more of a relaxed feel rather than everything being so matchy. So that's just my take and what I like to do here in my space. starting off in my living room, this year I'm doing something I typically don't do, and that is going to be kind of focusing on my fireplace mantle. Usually I just put a couple pumpkins up there and some candlesticks and call it good, but I found a picture on Pinterest that inspired me completely, and I just thought it was absolutely stunning. I love the pine branches on there, the pine cones, the really large leaves hanging down, lots of pumpkins, and even though I can't do this exact look, it did inspire me to buy some garland, and I'm also going to be picking up some more faux pumpkins here and there to create kind of a similar look to this. So the garland that I picked up is actually this one. I shared this in my last video, I think. Again, this looks way brighter on camera than it is in person, but I love the variations. I don't know if you guys can see the greens in there and stuff, or the browns, I mean. But this is just so beautiful and lifelike. So I'm planning to put that on my fireplace mantle, put some pumpkins up there, and I have some brass candlesticks and some like dark chocolate brown candles that I picked up. So I'm planning to put those up there as well, but I'm so excited. I was playing around with this, and I even took some of my pine Christmas garland and kind of like intertwined the two and put it up there, and that was beautiful as well. So I'm not sure if I'll do both or just the one I just showed you guys, but nonetheless, my fireplace mantle is something that I'm going to be focusing on and just bringing in all of those traditional fall colors. Another area I like to focus on is my coffee table. I have this basket here, as you guys can see, and I always like to style books in there, a plant, something along those lines. And this year I knew I wanted to get some greenery to put there and something that was a little bit different. So I did pick up some new greenery. Let me show you what it looks like. I have been playing around with my stuff, so you guys are getting a sneak peek right now, but how gorgeous is this? So I have this brass vase that I picked up a couple of years ago from an antique store, and then I did buy some new stems. So I love kind of like this burgundy red color, then there's also these taupe colors in there. It's just all mixed in, but I think this is absolutely stunning. I'm so excited. The stems in the front, kind of these taupe colored ones, came from a local floral shop. Actually, both of them did. So I don't know if I'll be able to get a link to those or not, but if not, I'll try to see if Hobby Lobby or Amazon has something similar, and I can try to link it down below for you guys. And the same with these, but I just love that it's like mixed. It's like a variation. It makes it look more realistic in my opinion. So I love how it looks, but I'm so excited to style this on the coffee table, and I'm styling it with something else that is a little different too. So you guys know I have kids. I can't have real candles on my coffee tables or just anywhere that's like low enough for my 2-year-old to touch it. So I have lots of battery operated candles, and I had mentioned to you guys in a couple videos back that I was wanting to make a like candle arrangement with a brass bucket and some moss and things like that. Let me show you this little arrangement here. I love how it looks. So I just have my little brass bucket with the feet. There's some moss in there and a battery operated candle, and it's going to be sitting next to this on my coffee table. I'm so excited about it. I literally just stuck moss in this canister, this little container here, and then just stick the candle right in the middle. So of course I need to fluff it up a little bit, but that is my idea for my coffee table. I just want something that's beautiful yet simple, something that's not going to be constantly in the way or worrying about the boys grabbing it and things like that. If it's in a tray, I can simply just pick up the tray, move it out of the way if they want to use the table, no big deal. The next area I love focusing on is my buffet. I do have staple pieces there that I keep every single season, like my lamp, my mirror. I also have 2 candle wall sconces there that I always keep up, but I pretty much always like to have a vase of some sort with some flowers. I like to have candles there. Sometimes I'll do books, I'll do artwork, a little bit of everything, but I like to switch those things out pretty simply. So I do have some frames that I will change out artwork from Etsy, or like again, just make like really large arrangements. I mentioned in my last video that I had ordered these, what I thought were really big mossy stems from Michael's. It was a flop, unfortunately, so I do have to return those, but I went to my local floral shop and I ended up finding the stem that I thought that I was purchasing from Michael's for even cheaper. So let me show you what it looks like. They are these large, like dark green mossy stems. They are absolutely beautiful. You guys can see they look very realistic, and these were only $7.99 a stem. I did get 3 of them, and I'm planning to mix them in with these stems from Walmart. So it's going to be super full and just real lifelike and wispy. But this is the mauve color I was telling you guys about, and then there's also some of like the golden look in there as well. They're super pretty, but I'm going to be making a large arrangement with that and then changing out some artwork, again adding some candles to that space and just kind of warm it up a bit for the fall season. Last but not least, in my living room, I like to focus on my couches. So I like to do pillow covers. It's so much easier, way cheaper, like better bang for your buck than buying actual pillows. And I don't like storing full pillows. I would rather just fold up a pillow cover and call it good. So I'm bringing in lots of chocolate browns. I have some plaids and just darker, richer tones into my living room to warm up my couches. Next up, we're going to be talking about my dining room. I do have a few areas that I like to focus on in there and a couple new projects that we're going to be working on as well. So as far as the projects that we're going to be working on, we are planning to repaint our entire dining room and hallway. This is of course not for fall decorating, but just something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. So that is something that I just wanted to mention in today's video as well. We are going to change up the color a little bit and make it nice and cozy in there. And one of the things I'm wanting to add in there as well is a gallery wall, like a heavy gallery wall. When I say that, I just mean tons of frames. So I'm very excited about that. That is something that if you had a gallery wall, you can easily change out your photos with printing pictures off from Etsy, or do family photos like fall pictures, things like that. So that's a very easy way to incorporate some fall decor as well. But as far as the areas that I like to focus on in my dining room, of course, my dining room table. I love to have a large arrangement and some pumpkins and candles. And something that I really like to do, and I've mentioned this before to you guys, is go to Hobby Lobby or just any fabric store in general, pick out my favorite fabric for the fall season, and then have them cut that for me so I can either make my own table runner or a table scarf. And I actually did this year at Hobby Lobby. I went and picked out what I think is one of the prettiest plaid pieces of fabric, and I'm going to use that as a table scarf. I'm also going to be incorporating a little DIY on that as well a little later in the season, so stay tuned for that. But I did create a very beautiful arrangement that I cannot wait to see on my dining room table. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay, this is the arrangement. I love this vase. I shared it with you guys a couple weeks ago. It is so pretty, but I love how it looks with these big, I think these are like oak stems or maple stems, I'm not sure. But anyway, I found these last year at Target for $5 a stem. And as you can see, these are very full. I only have 3 stems in here and they were like $5 a piece. So if Target has them again, I will try to link them for you guys. But this thing is going to go on my dining room table. Again, bringing in those kind of mustard yellows, like the golden colors. I think it's just so pretty. So I cannot wait to style this on that space. I also love styling my hutch. With that, I'll just bring in some really pretty antique and thrift store finds. These are kind of my specialty pieces that I love to store and decorate with in the hutch so you can see them through the glass. But I'll bring in wood tones, I'll bring in brass, I'll bring in some copper, just darker colors, again, that kind of warms it up. This is also an area where I will create like little vignettes with wooden bowls filled with faux pumpkins and leaves, or I have acorns, different things like that, just to kind of warm it up a little bit and nod to the season. Last but not least, we are going to be discussing the kitchen. So I am so pumped that we finally have our pantry doors up. So I'm going to be putting wreaths on there. I love how that is going to look. It's so cozy. I've been playing around with it. And this is the wreath that I'm going to be hanging on each door. I love the colors. It has literally everything. There's browns, rusts, greens, yellows, ivories. It's just so pretty. This one is from Hobby Lobby, so I can link this down below for you guys. But 2 wreaths on our dark wood doors. I think it's just going to look so pretty. And then I also picked up a runner months ago actually that matches our kitchen rug, and it is beautiful as well. So let me show you what this looks like. I have shown you guys before, but this is what it is. So it is perfect for fall if you are someone that just likes to change out your rug seasonally. They have this in larger sizes and again in runners too. So this is the runner, but this is the rug that I have on my kitchen floor. And I have it in a 5x7 and a runner, and there's browns, there's yellows, there's kind of orangey tones in there, and it is absolutely beautiful. So that's what I'm going to be doing in front of our pantry, hanging up the wreaths, having this rug down below, and I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful. I'm so excited about it. And then again, I have the little breakfast nook there that has the plate wall. I love the vintage brown plates, and then there's the pheasant plates and like all these different colors and patterns. I think they are absolutely stunning. So I have a few that I picked up last year and this year. The one from this year is this version here. It's from Hobby Lobby. I did grab the salad plate and the dinner plate. Again, these are just going to be going up on my wall. So what I like to do is glue a little hook to the back and hang it on a nail. So I have that one, and then this one I picked up last year. It is a pheasant plate, and it has a beautiful design on it. This one came from Home Goods, and I think it is perfect for fall decorating. So picture this up on a wall. I think it'll be stunning. So excited to change out my current plates for these fall inspired ones and kind of warm up that corner a bit. As far as the rest of my kitchen goes, I like to focus on my sink area and like my countertops over there. Normally switch out some artwork. I have a little lamp. I'll add candles. You guys know I love to change out my mug tree, so I'll change out my mugs and things like that. So just very simple things. Makes it cozy, and I like to nod to those traditional fall colors. I just realized I never showed you guys those faux pumpkins I was talking to you about. So this is what they look like. This is the large one, and this is the small one. Again, these are both from Hobby Lobby. They look extremely realistic. I got these when they were 30% off. Hobby Lobby's fall is now 40% off, so you get them even cheaper. But the little one is originally $6.99, but again now 40% off. And the large one was $12.99, additional 40% off. So I will have those linked down below for you guys if you want to check them out. But that is everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this chatty fall planning video, kind of the behind the scenes of what I like to do in my home, kind of how I decide what I'm going to be incorporating into my space and the areas that I am focusing on. If anything, I hope this gives you some inspiration on how to do that in your own home. And like I said before, be sure to check out those videos that I've posted previously for more fall inspiration. I do post every Thursday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I'm going to be posting my fall decorating videos very soon. I'm probably going to wait 2 more weeks, and then I'll start having my fall decorate with me's coming out. So I'm very excited. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new, because I would love to have you, and hit that bell notification. That way you're notified every time I post. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.